Welcome to the 104th installment of Tell Em Alejandro, your number one place for sports, cars, video games, fitness. If you're a man, you're here. Mr. Alejandro, but tell him.
What you about to tell him, Alejandro?
I'm about to tell him about the New England Patriots defeating the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl and one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in Super Bowl history.
Tell him, Alejandro!
TEA drinkers, I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. I certainly did. Let's get to the recap. The New England Patriots defeated the Seattle Seahawks 28-24, and there was an unbelievably stunning decision made by the Seattle Seahawks late in the game, which basically sealed the deal. Let's talk about it. The New England Patriots took a 4-point lead with 2 minutes and 2 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Seattle Seahawks got the football, drove down the field, and got inside the 10-yard line and were threatening to score a touchdown and take the lead late in the game. The Seattle Seahawks ran a running play to the beast, Mr. Skittles, MARSHAWN LYNCH, and he got a chunk of yards. The Seattle Seahawks were inside the 2-yard line when somebody made a big mistake and decided to run a passing play, and the pass was intercepted by Malcolm Butler. Now you see the New England Patriots jumping for joy, and you can see the reaction of Russell Wilson realizing it's over, Hover. Look at Tom Brady having the time of his life, realizing he just got his 4th championship. And now we see Richard Sherman. Look at that face. Wow. Here is the problem. The Seahawks should have never, ever ran a passing play. I'm going to break it down to you why. The closer you get to the end zone, the harder it is to pass because there's less room to work with. It's more favorable for your offense to run the football. Second of all, since there's not much room to work with, you don't even want to put the football in the air and risk the other team possibly making it play on the football. For example, what happened here? The Patriots got an interception. If you run the football, the chances of you turning the football over decreases. Now, another reason why the Seahawks should have ran the football is because they have a goal for a running back. They have the best running back in the National Football League today. His name is MARSHAWN LYNCH, aka Mr. Skittles, aka Beast Mode, but I like to call him Goon Mode. There is no way, I don't care what you say, no way that man can't get you 1 yard, especially with the game on the line. He'll carry all 11 New England Patriots on his back if he has to. He's gonna get in the end zone. It's really that simple. So now it's time to play the blame game. Who are we going to blame for this awful decision? First things first, I gotta blame the offensive coordinator, because usually the offensive coordinators are the people who call the offensive plays. He's on the hot seat. Next up, I must blame the head coach, Pete Carroll. He's the coach of the team, so obviously this decision had to run by him at some point, and he must have approved of it. Next up, I need to blame the quarterback of the team, Russell Wilson. Some people are blaming him for throwing an interception. I don't blame him for throwing an interception. I blame him for not having the guts to tell the coach and the coordinator, pump your brakes, I'm not throwing the ball, I'm going to make sure I run the ball with MARSHAWN LYNCH. I feel like he made the right decision with the football because he did not pass in Darrell Revis' direction, who's a great cornerback. He did not pass in Brandon Browner's direction, who's another great cornerback. He passed in the direction of a rookie cornerback. That DB made a great play. Anyway, shout out to the New England Patriots. They put in that twerk. Let's show some love to, first things first, the quarterback for the New England Patriots, the golden boy, the chosen one, Tom Brady. For my money, I personally feel like he's the best quarterback that I have ever seen. And even before this Super Bowl, he didn't need the Super Bowl to validate that for me. That's just me. Now, people are comparing him to the likes of Joe Montana. He won 4 championships. They're comparing him to Terry Bradshaw. He won 4 championships. If Brady wasn't in the discussion of best quarterbacks of all time before, he definitely is now, because he too has 4 championships. Bling, bling, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Every time I come around your city, bang, bang. Next up is the head coach for the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick. He put in that twerk. He too has 4 championships. He's one of the best head coaches that I have ever seen. He has the most playoff victories for any head coach in NFL history. I wouldn't say that he's the best head coach yet. I still want to see more from Bill because I've seen a lot of good head coaches in the NFL. But I really do feel like Belichick puts in that work because he's very intelligent and he always makes adjustments. He does a great job of preparing his team and always tries to put them in the correct spots to make good plays, and he always coaches them up, tells them, yo, make sure you just do your job, this, that, and the third. And I love how he handles the media. He basically just hits them like this and talks to them like he has no emotion. He gives the media nothing, but I'm sure in the locker room he's turned up like me, waving a towel and all that. So shout out to Bill Belichick. I want to give another shout out to the owner for the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft. I really feel like he's a good dude. He bought the team about 20 plus years ago. He's been the owner of this team and gotten them to 7 Super Bowls. That's impressive. And I saw him in an interview tonight. He's so cool, calm, and collective, and he still has a little bit of youth in him. I saw him wearing a nice suit, but then on his feet, he has some Uptown, some Air Force Ones on with a nice little New England Patriots logo on his sneakers. So shout out to him, man. They asked him, yo, Robert Kraft, what y'all gonna be doing tonight? He was like, we're gonna be partying. He said, we're gonna have Pitbull in the building. He said, we're gonna have Ricky Ross in the building. I was like, whoa, Ricky Ross? He meant to say Rick Ross. That's what he's talking about. I'm thinking, yo, what do you even know about Rick Ross? Yo, you're not supposed to know nothing about this. But anyway, shout out to the owner. Shout out to the quarterback. Shout out to the fans of the New England Patriots. Y'all finally got a championship. There's so much hate towards the New England Patriots from plenty of people around the world because people like to say the Patriots cheat. I do think that the Patriots do cheat. I don't think they cheated to get this win, but I do think they're cheaters. But I have nothing wrong with that. Here's why. I speed, you speed, we all speed. It just so happens that every time the Patriots speed, they end up being the ones that get caught and pulled over. It is what it is. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. This Super Bowl, the Patriots won fair and square. The Seahawks beat themselves with that awful decision. I've never seen such an awful decision in my life. Seahawks, I have a message to you guys. Do not allow this team to be divided. You guys are going to be thinking about this all summer long, and I truly do feel like the organization for the Seattle Seahawks is trying to make Russell Wilson the star, and we all know that MARSHAWN LYNCH is the star of that team. He's the heart of the team, you feel me? They're trying to make Wilson the star. This summer, they're going to pay Russell Wilson a big fat contract, and they may or may not give a contract extension to MARSHAWN LYNCH. Seattle Seahawks, please find a way to stick together because I really do think you guys are a great team, and you guys can still win a few more championships down the road. But this season, it's the season of the New England Patriots. Congratulations. And if you're not down with that, I just got 2 words for ya. Tell them. There you have it, folks. Mr. Alejandro's recap of Super Bowl 49, where the New England Patriots defeated the Seattle Seahawks. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about the awful decision made by the Seattle Seahawks coaching staff? What do you think about Tom Brady's legacy, as well as Coach Bill Belichick's legacy? You know what you got to do. Tell them in the comments. Tonight's sexy bow tie is brought to you by Miss Alejandro, looking like a cheetah, because just like the Patriots, I'm a cheetah. Tune in for more sports, cars, video game, fitness, and all that. Follow at Tell 'em Alejandro to hear my immediate reaction to live sports events, or if you want to hear me cover a certain team or topic. Tell them. TEA drinkers, y'all know what time it is. It's Super Bowl time, so that means it's turn up time. Let's get it. Special outro remix. I'll bring it down. Here we go. Yo, Seahawks, if you want to repeat next time, just give it to the beast. Seahawks, if you want to repeat next time, just give it to the beast. Brady, how many more? 1, 2, 3, 4. 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 Tell him, Alejandro. Tell him, Alejandro. Tell him, Alejandro. Tell him, Alejandro. T-E-A. We don't. T-E-A. We don't. Shout out to the New England Patriots role players. For example, Julian Edelman, Shane Vereen. They was putting in mad work on the underneath routes all game. Shout out to Bill Belichick for dividing a great defensive scheme, man-to-man with some spy and Russian Wilson, putting a lot of pressure on him. Shout out to the Patriots. Y'all did y'all thing all season. Y'all started 2-2, got criticized, and now y'all the champs. So let me break it down for y'all with some heavy balls. Here we go. The Patriots are very great, even with the plate. The Patriots are very great, even with the plate. The Patriots are very great, even with the plate. The Patriots are very great, even with the plate. I'm feeling sexy. I'm in a whip. Drop top. One hand on the wheel, and I'm leaning with my face. You know, I gotta lower my windows. I got the automatic windows now. I ain't rolling. I'm leaning. I got a cigar, some shades, fancy hat. Here we go. I need more bass. Let's get it. I'm blasting my Pitbull. I'm blasting my Ricky Ross, as Kraft likes to call it. I'm jamming. Let's get it. Super Bowl. Tell 'em Alejandro.